right, so are you enjoying the conference? How much? All right, cool, awesome. This is my 15th? Is it 15? We've done 15 of these, and I'm honored to be here today. I've got a goofy topic I'm supposed to talk to you about, though. I'm supposed to talk to you about work-life balance. I'll make it short. There is none. So we're kind of done with that, right? Okay. We can take questions later. What Tina wants me to do is kind of talk about my transition in the workplace, going from major corporate world into the world of entrepreneurship. So if you look at the military as a major corporation, right, the big one, then it's the same thing, and it's somewhat the same transition that a lot of you are going to have to go through. And during it, I'll talk a little bit about work-life balance. And then am I allowed to tell any stories? Yeah, a few of the good ones, not the most recent one. I know which one I'm not allowed to tell, yeah, all right. So basically, I graduated from college and went to find a job in 1972 when I was 21 years old. I'll give you a minute to do the math. Not that bad, right? Oh my God, it is that bad. Look at that. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you. I found myself at Chase Manhattan Bank in 1972 when Chase at that point decided that as the largest bank in the world, they would take a risk and maybe hire 2 women to become executives. All right. And so I was one of the women that they interviewed for the job to take over. By the way, they didn't need 2 women, they only needed 1 woman. So I never knew if I was like Miss Congeniality and the runner-up or the one that they really wanted. Of course, they made me wear a sash around, so I was probably runner-up. So, should I tell you about my first job interview? Yeah, you want to hear that one? All right. Okay, so here it is. It's 1972. I'm 21 years old. I'm going to interview to become an executive in a major bank. Now, I know that if you're going to go on an important interview, you have to dress the part, right? I have no idea what a female executive would dress like because there were none. So what I did is I scoped out the men. So I thought I could be kind of a clone of a male as a counterpart as a woman, which makes no sense, but when you're 21, you think that's smart. So anyway, I scoped out the guys, and they had 3-piece suits on, and they carried briefcases. I had no idea what was in a briefcase. And they had umbrellas and raincoats over their arm. Guys always carry, right? Which means it'll never rain. So they were dressed that way. So I decided, I got it. I'm ready for the big interview. I had a dress on, and I put a vest. And I had a briefcase that was empty, and a shoulder bag. And I had on those little high heel shoes that are easily slip on, right? You know the ones, not too high, not too low. And my shoulder bag, and my raincoat, and my umbrella. And I had really long hair at the time. And what I did is I clipped it back with an industrial strength hair clip. My hair was not going to come down during that interview. So there was a whole sea of people going, men from Lower Manhattan, actually from the World Trade Center, through to the Chase Manhattan Bank. And there's kind of this cadence, this professional walk, this march. And I was there, my briefcase, my shoulder bag, everything, my hair back. And I got to the Chase Manhattan Bank Plaza. And they have these little tiny steps going up to the plaza. So I did tip, 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 tip up the steps. But remember those little shoes I had on that were easily slip on? Well, they can easily slip off, too. So I tripped, and there was so much momentum, I rolled to the top of the stairs. Now, if you're really professional, you do not let go of a thing. I didn't let go of my briefcase, empty, my shoulder bag, my umbrella. But up at the top of the stairs, gravity took over. And I started to roll down this staircase. And remember the sea of men? Well, they parted like the Red Sea. And they let me roll all the way down to the bottom of the staircase. And I picked myself off the ground. I was a mess. My knee was cut. It was bleeding. My pantyhose were shredded. You know that look, great look. And I couldn't believe it. And I was mortified and fixated on my ripped pantyhose and bloody knee. But not to worry, I had time before the big interview to get into the ladies' room, clean up my bloody knee, and get a new pair of pantyhose. I could have put a pair of pantyhose in my briefcase, empty. So I hobble in to the bank. I get to the elevator, and the doors open, and who's standing there? None other than Frank Brennan, the big senior vice president that I'm going to interview with. And I have that panicked look to my face. I immediately turn around so he doesn't see my bloody knee and ripped pantyhose, and I speak professionally over my shoulder. Good morning, Mr. Brennan. Good morning, Neale. By the way, he's smoking on the elevator. You could in those days. So he's smoking away. He goes, Neale, I've got a conflict later. Do you mind if we do the interview right now? If you're professional, you can change on a dime. That would be perfect, Mr. Brennan. Let's do the interview right now. Now we step off the elevator. I position him right behind me. He has not seen my bloody knee and ripped pantyhose. And I practice my professional prance all the way to his office. Now, I'm going past a part of the bank where the executives sit, and they call it the platform. And since they're only male executives, I'm walking past a sea of men. And I notice as I'm walking by that they're kind of tittering and laughing at me. And I'm thinking, it's because they know I'm going to be interviewing to become an executive at Chase Manhattan Bank. So I get huffy, and we get into the office, and the interview begins. I cross my leg so he doesn't see my ripped pantyhose and bloody knee, and the interview begins. Neale, as a woman, how are you going to deal with men? As a woman, how are you going to travel with men? As a woman, as a woman, as a woman, how are you going to market to men? Mr. Brennan, I've developed marketing techniques that will instantaneously put men at ease. Are you not at ease, Mr. Brennan? Are you not at ease? Think of me as a man in a dress. I knew I nailed this interview. I did a great job. I was on my game. So now, when he is going to walk me back to the elevator, and I can finally get into the ladies' room, clean up my knee, I once again position him right behind me and do my professional prance all the way to the elevator. Now, I'm walking past the platform again. It's not just a sea of men that's gathered, it's a herd of men. All the men from Chase Manhattan Bank have gathered to see me. Now, they're not just tittering and laughing, they're screaming laughing. They're pointing, they're high-fiving. And my thought, go ahead and laugh, I'll be your boss someday. Right? So, I get to the ladies' room, I shake Mr. Brennan's hand goodbye. I nailed it. I did a great job. So now I can finally get to the ladies' room, clean up my bloody knee, and get a new pair of pantyhose. So I run into the ladies' room, and before me, I see a full-length mirror. And I notice there's another little mishap that took place when I rolled up and down the stairs at Chase Manhattan Bank. It's not just my bloody knee and ripped pantyhose that I had to worry about. The hem of my skirt is caught in my industrial strength hair clip. They all saw my ass. They all saw my ass. And you know when you put your pantyhose on really fast and you get that squiggly little line? They all saw my squiggly line. And it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. And I had on my lucky Happy Tuesday panties. Now let's just recap for 1 second. Why should Chase Manhattan Bank hire women? Who better than I to represent all women? Mr. Brennan, I have developed marketing techniques that will instantaneously put men at ease. Are you not at ease, Mr. Brennan? Are you not at ease? Think of me as a man in a dress. I got the job.